If you don't believe in religion, where do you draw your morality from? That's one of the biggest claims that the religious people make. That the atheists, where do they draw their morality from? I think the religion is very important to draw the morality and some of the values to live a good life. But it shouldn't be the single root. We can also draw the morality from science, from civic humanism, and from philosophy, and even personal consciousness. Somebody could argue that a personal consciousness, what is personal consciousness? The personal consciousness can be developed and altered, under the what kind of the circumstances you're living in. That's actually true. The circumstances change your perspective. That's how you develop your consciousness. It's like, if let's say that I live in some Amazonian remote tribe, to me, cannibalism will be very normal. It could be that I eat the humans, and I'm not going to feel that I'm doing something wrong because my moral framework is shaped that way. So your consciousness depends upon where you live and what kind of the environment you're surrounded with. This is actually one of the reasons that I do not want to take the moral values only from the religion, because let's say that I'm going to give you the example of the Hindus. The Hindus do not eat the animals, not because they believe that that's cruelty to the animals or killing the animals is bad. It is because it is a sin in Hinduism to eat and kill the animals. Now imagine if that was not a sin. If God would have said that killing animals is not a sin, eating animals is not a sin, they wouldn't mind eating animals. They wouldn't mind doing cruelty to the animals. That's one of the main questions, that you draw your morality from the religions that say, and if you don't kill somebody, or if you don't commit the violence only because the God says it, what if the God says the otherwise? Would you do all that? I hope not, because then that would be bad for the society. Back in the time when only the religion was the option to from where you can get your morality from. I get it that people didn't have any option, but now we have the philosophical books. We have developed our consciousness to that level that the religions are not the only choice where we can draw the morality from. It's like, I don't have to read any kind of the scripture in order to know that rape is bad or that murdering an innocent is bad. I could take it from my consciousness. My consciousness has evolved throughout the time, just like my body. My consciousness also went through the evolution, and now I can distinct the right from the wrong. In some ways, it is subjective, but there is also objective right and wrong. And you don't need only the scriptures for that. Um, a lot of the people, they do not want to doubt their belief system because they believe that the sole function of the doubt is the destruction. That's actually not true. The doubt does not destroy your belief system. Doubt just gives you the enough curiosity to open up your mind. It's like earlier I gave you the example about the cannibalism, that if I used to live in a tribe where I used to cannibalize and then that was completely normal for me, I'm not going to understand that I had been doing the bad things unless I get the exposure of something that is, different from my own belief system. And people actually don't want to do it because that's like, two maps for one destination. That when you doubt your belief system, you have now two maps. The one is the belief system of your own, the values that you have been living with your entire life. And now you feel like that you can't destroy that value system because you have followed that for 20 years, 30 years. And now if suddenly you abolish them and try to change, that's going to be uncomfortable at first. And then second, you will be a proven fool. But actually, doubt is what makes us human. Doubt is what develops our consciousness. Because when we doubt, we question our belief system. And we get to know, when we open our mind, we get to know that the only our system is not the right system. That we don't necessarily need one kind of the source in order to develop our consciousness, in order to draw our values and morality. So the religion is important in some ways, but it cannot be the only source of your values and your moral framework.